we're live.
All right, thanks. All right, good evening. I'd like to call the Hebron Board of Education regular meeting of Thursday, June 5th, 2025 to order. The time is 6:02 p.m. If we could do a roll call.
Kim Hill's board member.
It's not a speaker.
It's just a.
It's for YouTube, but it won't
Got it.
project.
Okay.
Ally Needles, Meisel board member.
Sarah Coppolino, board secretary.
Joe Margottis, Vice Chair.
Heather Pettit, Chair.
Tom Barrett, Superintendent.
Nicole Matthews, board member.
Don Breer, Director of Educational Services.
Caitlin Shore, business manager.
And we have Principal Larkin here. Oh, and Miss Sarah, I couldn't see you over there. And of course, Mr. McKinney behind the camera. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So cute. Thank you so much. All right, so next we have recognition, the Invention Convention, Laurel Smith and Cecilia Allen.
So I'll have Ms. Adams come up and with our inventors. All right, Mrs. Adams, what can you share with us about our inventors and where they're going next?
Yeah, well, so Cece has worked really hard and she came up with this idea about how to help prevent her backpack from hurting her. Is that right, Cece? Yeah. So her backpack was a little too heavy, so she came up with a solution on how to fix that. So Cece, do you want to tell about that right now? Tell us all about it. And then Laurel will tell us all about hers. So tell us what you made, Cece.
I made the skillet cubby. It's a scale that weighs your backpack, and it's also a cubby, so you just put your backpack on the hook, and this means it's good, this means it's okay, and this means it's too heavy. Speak to a parent or teacher, or you can get one with wheels or chest straps.
How cool.
I remember I was in the judging circle for CC. I'm pretty sure. I remember looking at this invention, and she's going to be going on to the nationals. Is that right?
Right, Cece? Yeah.
Oh.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
can we ask like how many like pounds? Is that a okay question? to
Yeah.
ask? Like how many pounds is too heavy? Oh, sorry, I can't see it from there. I apologize.
Do you want to show what the design?
Or pounds are like
Oh, okay, I'll check it out.
So it's different for
40
different
pounds,
kids.
40 millimeters, wait, 8 pounds, 10 pounds.
So if you go across, right, Cece? So 40 pounds is, the backpack should be what?
8 pounds.
8 pounds,
8 pounds or less.
right?
Oh,
8 under less.
okay.
Right.
What's in the little cylinder thing on the left-hand side of the box?
It's a tissue box.
Smart. Love that.
Mhm.
You want to tell about why you put these here?
I put those here because so you could put your backpack here, you could put like your wobble here, or your book here, but yeah, no one out of the room you could put like a lunchbox here or a coat and a coat here. Those are just for like extra room, you know? Look in this picture.
Oh, very nice.
You could also use it for a lunchbox. I just don't have a lunchbox.
Yeah.
I don't order home lunch stuff.
All right. So yes, so Cece, you went to UConn. You want to tell everybody how it went at UConn?
It went good. When I got there, I was really excited, and I found out my table number. I made some pretty good friends, and I presented, and all the judges, it wasn't kind of like last time, like my memory. I thought the judges were just gonna like come around to each table and like do it, but they didn't. They were just judges. There were lots of them, and there was 2, 3 at 60th one of the awards, and I was the very first one that they called. So at the end, when they only had a few awards that to go to Michigan, they called my name first, and I was really excited. I got there was a medal for coming to the invention, and there was a medal for going to Michigan, and it was really fun.
Very good. Nice job, Cece.
Great.
Thank you so much.
So Laurel's here, so Laurel can talk about her.
Thank you. That's excellent.
And Cece and Laurel, this is like a long tradition of Hebron kids going to the States and going to
Yes.
the Nationals. So.
Yeah.
And then you can continue. How's that? Does that sound like a good idea, Laurel? Oh, I forgot to mention, Cece is a second grader.
Okay.
And Laurel, this is Laurel Smith, and she is a kindergartner.
Oh.
And so Laurel also figured out a problem that she was having. So just like Cece was having a problem with her heavy backpack, Laurel was having a problem with keeping track of where she was when she was reading, because she was just learning how to read. So Laurel came up with a solution to help with that problem. So Laurel, you want to tell us a little bit about it now? I can hold the book for you. Would you like that?
I made the book spy. It's a bookmark that helps you read. And then you put it on a piece of paper, and you will undo the whole thing, and then you can see. So you do it like I am here. Oh, I fly to the moon, and it says I can fly to the moon.
And now the one of the really cool things about Laurel and her project is that she created it, but then did you leave it that way or did you make it better?
I made it better.
Like lots of times, right? You want to tell us about the first time you made it better?
So the first time I made it better was that the window wasn't so clear, so then I made that even see-througher. And then there was too many bends and it was hard to push it in, so I made that good. And then it was getting, and then the shiny paper from my first one was pulling off easily and it could rip off, and so I did vinyl paper instead of that one.
And it was pretty exciting for me because every time I met with Laurel every week, she would tell me a different change that she made to make it better. And so it was really cool to watch it grow. And then Laurel, want to tell us a little bit about UConn? How did that go for you?
It went good. At the first thing I was like really scared, but then once I just like started talking, I just felt better. And I was like so amazed on how many people there were there with the invention convention.
You want to tell us a little bit about getting the award and how that went for you?
And it went pretty good for like getting the award, and I was like so bored. So many awards that were being called, and I was like one of the last people getting called for the award.
Yeah. And you're going to nationals also, but you're going to a different place, not Michigan, right? Where is she going again?
She's doing an online nationals.
An
for
online
an
national.
innovator challenge.
So
Excellent.
That's awesome.
yeah. And that's this summer?
I can't wait to hear how it goes.
I know.
Me neither.
Do you want to tell them anything else about it? You said you were going to make another change, right, for the
I was gonna
innovator?
make like another change and try to make it into different shapes
Oh.
and do like different patterns.
Oh,
If
yeah.
other kids want it like that, if they wanted to buy one.
Did you want to tell them how you came up with that idea?
And I came up with that idea because I wanted to stay on the lines, and I was having problems like knowing which word I was on, and because when my mom covered it up into little syllables, so it was hard to know which word I was on, like in that picture right up there.
Mm.
It seems like I was punching to the right word, but I was actually covering up that word right there.
I think we have some customers. I know that some of our teachers were already feeling like, oh my gosh, if this was in a catalog, I would be buying this.
Right?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. Great job, Laurel. All right, we're gonna take a
Excellent,
quick
congratulations.
photo op, and so if we could have Cece and Laurel, Mrs. Adams, bring your inventions, and we're gonna go right out in the hallway here. Mrs. Martinez is gonna help us with a picture, and then we'll be right back. Come over here, we'll do it out here.
I love your invention. So cool.
I went out there, yes, I certainly did. It was hot, very hot.
For like more than a minute.
I wasn't wearing it, actually wearing my Gilly Hill purple shirt under this.
Okay.
Those
It's
are
great,
really
it's
cute
very hot.
inventions.
I know, it's brutal.
I was just thinking my purse would not like make it past that backpack scale.
Oh, yeah, yeah, stay clear.
And I know my daughter's wasn't, because I am like, how do you carry this? It's like, it feels like 50 pounds.
I wanna put my kid's car seat on that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Sticking them in the
yeah.
car.
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't smell.
The other inventions are so
I
cool
can-
too, like for reading
Well, they were
when you're
just, in-
first
they were, they're
learning.
just from my house.
It's really good.
But still, they still have.
Yeah. I know. Kim's not gonna eat the candy. Don's not gonna eat the candy. You'll eat the candy? Okay.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, we'll bring celery next time.
Thank you. A little hummus?
Yes.
Candy?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What? Those need to make it down this way.
Oh, this is an incredible amount of sugar.
Ooh, this is really a good one.
I haven't had this much.
I have
sugar in a
flamingo
while.
ones at home for next month. I did.
That's your program.
It's pretty sweet.
Alright, I go back
A
there.
little bit more than I was
No,
expecting.
I know.
I know, but then once you're in it,
I'm
you
guessing
gotta
it's
go.
You gotta do the whole
Yeah, I
thing.
know.
Good
I'm gonna
stuff.
save
I'm
this
not
one
gonna put
for.
half of it like on my.
No.
Yeah, I'll take a couple of those. You have to serve me. Thanks, Joe. Do you want any of
Kids
this?
don't get enough candy for all the holidays, but our next door neighbor.
Yes, I know.
I'm sorry. I get no, it's okay. It's like nervous, right? Right.
Poor lobster.
Well, those were excellent.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
were
false
excellent.
start there, the lobster.
Yeah.
I think it was Kelly Stone, maybe?
No, they, for field day,
All right, thank
Okay.
you.
it was they,
Awesome.
a bunch of staff dressed as up in blow up costumes like a lobster, a hot dog,
Really?
two people though.
Yeah.
All right, so student liaison report. Amelia's not.
We do.
Oh, sorry. Recognition retirees. I thought I saw recognition. I know.
All right,
Retirees Cheryl Alfano.
we're gonna have Cheryl and Mr. Larkin come up.
I just had to replacements for the little stuff.
Oh. Oh.
All right, you can come over here, Cheryl.
So congratulations, Cheryl, on your very well-deserved retirement after 26 years of service to the Hebron Public Schools. I learned that some of that time was in both schools.
Right.
So you started actually here at Gilead Hill in the cafeteria, then transitioned over to our cafeteria at HES. And then in 2008, Cheryl accepted the full-time custodial position at HES. And in 2016, became head custodian, position that you have held ever since. So we hope that you have a joyous retirement. Thank you.
Thank you. I was also doing the secretarial and part-time custodial, and then went to all custodial.
Double duty. Cheryl's our only retiree this year.
Oh.
She's missed. Congratulations, Cheryl.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all you've done for our schools and our kids. Thank you.
Let's go, so we're gonna go do a photo out here.
We have a lot of photo ops tonight.
Saturday, right?
Yes.
Just remember that.
There's a big demand for more tickets right now.
Is there?
Yeah.
Hopefully the rain won't be too much of an issue.
Soccer game. US Mills.
Yeah.
It's supposed to rain.
When it's better, better.
It doesn't, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be like,
Saturday.
Ellie's got a game Friday night, they
But
both have
not
games on Saturday, so it'll be going straight from Mansfield out there. We were talking about, I was talking about with kids today, I mentioned it, and they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, my niece is soccer game this weekend. They're like, you didn't tell us about that. I'm like, oh, I forgot.
Even if you did, they wouldn't have done it.
We were at the yard sales last week and it was awful. Pouring, it was freezing cold.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be better this week.
So he has 90 in humid, yeah.
So that was.
You never know. So we are on, but we're not secret. But I guess you could,
Yeah.
which is
No, just.
hard to make it out. Without your, you know what I mean? Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so now is student liaison report, but Amelia's not here because she's in Indiana for invention convention, because she's in part of the nationals. I mean, not,
Future.
sorry, future problem solvers, thank you. So we will see her in the fall. Next is public comments. The Hebron Board of Education values the public comment period as it represents an opportunity for members of the public to express their views to the board on matters within the board's authority. Procedurally, public comments will be limited to 3 minutes per person, and citizens will be asked to identify themselves. All comments must be directed to the board and not to any individual board member or individual member of the administration. The board and the administration will not respond to questions or engage in dialogue during the public comment period. The board and administration will determine when and how to address questions that arise during the public comment period. Is there any public comment? Terry, Mr. McManus. I don't know where you'd like them to sit, Dave? Is this good?
Stand is fine, but that microphone, just please use that so we can hear you on the tape.
I have to say that I like this boardroom a heck of a lot better than the other one. It's much more cozy and you pass around the food a lot easier. Madam Chair, thank you for letting me speak. Terry McManus, 169 North Street. And it may go a bit more than 3 minutes, but not much, if I may.
All right, try to keep it.
I've been talking with as many people as I can. I'm back in town for a couple months. I'm splitting my time between here and Minnesota, where I have 2 grandchildren that match these 2 young ladies perfectly. Mannerisms, size, shyness, and exuberance. That was wonderful. It was like I was back in Minnesota. I wasn't able to participate in the budget process this year, and I watched from afar. And I'm really glad that we passed the budget. I wasn't sure we were going to be able to. But one thing we didn't need to have in town was any stress right now. And we're only talking an 8% hit. And that's a little bit ironic because 8% tax hike is huge. But in comparison to what's coming down the road, it's small. And what I'm doing here right now is coming to you as leaders in the community, the people that fix the direction of the district, and I have a request. But before I get to the request, I passed out a graph here that when I was on the Planning and Zoning Commission, we were doing the POCD, I found this to be fascinating. Basically, it's a 4-decade history of population trends within the town. And if ever there's a testament to the excellence of education in the town of Hebron, this is it. We say that we like the rural nature, we say that we like the trails, but what this tells me is people come to the town of Hebron for the schools. You see from 5 up to 15, we have a huge slope upwards. And then from 15 to 25, it goes back down. And what that represents are the kids that are coming through the school system. And what's really amazing is that it's 4 decades in a row This data just is astounding. If we go over to the older, we see the same trend line, 25 up to basically 45 to 50, going straight up. And what they represent, in my mind, are parents that are making the decision to move to Hebron in order to educate their children. This is a testament to the excellence of the education. But when the kids are out of school, then we see the downward trends. The kids leave town, they go on to university, and the parents decide that maybe someplace else is better for them at that point in time. My request to you as leaders of this particular board, and I'm going to make this appeal to all the boards in town and committees, is to look for things on how we can save money. And one of the reasons is I just called an 8% tax hike nothing. We're looking at a $45 to $50 million public works bonding issue that's gonna have to come up. The town itself, the facility, in my opinion, and I've said this publicly a number of times, the facility should be condemned. It's unsafe, it's unhealthy, and it just needs to be fixed. And we're gonna do it, but it's gonna cost a lot of money. And he says that there's a lot of roads that need to be fixed. I got a couple other that have come in. The sewer system within the town of Hebron is going to need multiple millions of dollars worth of work. The sewer system downstream of Colchester, which we have to pay our share for, is tens of millions of dollars of work. And this is all gonna hit in the next 5 years. Many millions of dollars to repair your 2 elementary schools, which, I don't know, how old are they? 50 years?
Old. They're old.
50 to 60 years. And we're gonna have to fix them. They need to be fixed. That's the reason we're in this cozy boardroom, is what I heard. But they're not sustainable, not at these costs. So having said that, we're still gonna have to bond out those millions of dollars. And eventually, we need a new elementary school. And in my opinion, sooner or later than later. Did I say that right? Yeah, I did. So how can we do this? And the only way I can think of, I watched the budget hearings, and we need some real brainstorming on cutting costs. I know you guys work hard at it. We have an unusual situation in the RAM High School with the 3 towns that sometimes obscures increases in actual cost and is confusing to the taxpayer. After their presentation, and I've talked with Colin on this already, we need their help. We, the town of Hebron, need the regional high schools' help to see where we can trim costs. Without their help, we're at their mercy, and I think it shows it, actually. And we're gonna need the town's help. But mostly, we're gonna need your leadership. Tough times ahead, I think, and you're the ones that are gonna get us through it, and that's the reason I'm here. There's a couple of reasons I say this, is if you look
Terry,
at
I'm
the-
sorry, we're on like 6 minutes, so if you could,
Oh,
I'm
we're on
sorry
6
to say
minutes?
that to you. So if you could like, just let us know, and then we have to move on, just because we have a couple things going on, executive session later.
That's okay, I'm done. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Oh, you can. Thank you so much, Terry. And you could also email the Board of Ed, and I'll say that for the public too, any additional, like, it's BOE at hebron.k12.ct.us, and the whole entire board gets that email.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good day now.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Terry. Approval of minutes is next, so Student Growth Committee meeting. Nikki, I'll ask, because we didn't have quorum, so I'll just ask if you accept the Student Growth Committee meeting minutes of May 22nd, 2025.
Yes.
As presented. Okay, great. And can I have a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of May 22nd, 2025 as presented?
So moved.
All right. Tim, second? All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, motion passes unanimously. Next on the agenda is discussion possible action regarding the 2025-2029 collective bargaining agreement with UPSU. I'm going to table that for now. We can talk more about that at a later date or later time. And then we have chair's report. So we just recently met, so I don't have much of a report other than to just remind everyone of our Board of Ed retreat on July 31st at 4:30. Starts at 4:30. July 31st. Okay. That's all I have for my report. Dr. Baird.
All right, my written report is pretty short, but I'm gonna highlight a few things that are interesting and exciting. The, under district advancement, so I met with the teachers and their math specialist over at HES to hear how the fourth grade pilot of illustrative math went. This is a grade, I'll just editorialize here a little bit, that was very happy with our existing program. It was like not sure about wanting to pilot. But afterwards, I have like a whole page of notes from them, but felt really excited about how the kids responded to the program and things in the new program that they also really liked themselves. They specifically talked about how it stretched our high learners, but it also provided entry points for kids who have been reluctant mathematicians, and they saw them, all students, just engaging at a much higher level than they have in our existing program. So they were surprised that they felt like very sure they wanted to move forward with implementing illustrative math for next year. So very,
That's good news.
yeah, it was very, very good update. So they will be moving forward with that. It was budgeted to implement for next year. We'll be piloting in at least second and third grade next year, because we're not sure how far that program will come down. So we want to get some feedback from second and third grade teachers. And while each grade level has kind of been deciding as they've been going, we sort of, our hope is that second and third grade comes to the same conclusion, so that we have the same program being used as the kids are transitioning from one school to the other. It's not that you have to, but it would be nice if we're able to make that decision, whether it's to stick with Bridges, the next version of Bridges, or continue moving illustrative math down. So we will keep you posted as that work continues, but very exciting. Technology and facilities, the next building committee meeting is on Monday, so I don't have really any update about that. The roof repair and patching work has been completed at both schools. The playscape repair at HES is now complete as of, I think, last Friday. So that's, been a long time coming to finish that project off. Remember that was, we had some funding from the town to help us do that. And our firewall replacement project is now complete, so some things finally kind of getting off the list there in the world of technology and facilities. I also emailed you that I updated our Connecticut school climate policy update. So this is a pretty substantial update and change in statewide policy around bullying and safe school climate work. The student growth committee, we talked about some of the items that are requirements of the legislation and the new policy. Part of the legislation was that all of the state will have the same policy. So while boards of ed adopt policy, you all had to, by law, adopt the same one for this one. So that is in place as of June 13th, so it'll be in place for next school year. But there's several places in the district advancement plan that reflect the work of that, and we'll talk more about it in the summer, but so just know that that is coming. Professional Development Evaluation Committee met on May 28th to reflect on the implementation of the revised teacher evaluation and administrator evaluation plan. That has gone exceedingly well, which that kind of work can be bumpy sometimes, so that is a celebration. There's no changes for next year. We were tinkering a little bit with the form and what to print and what goes in personnel files and stuff like that, but that is a celebration. And the Safety Security Committee met on June 3rd with a focus on summer and 25-26 planning. Most of the items in the DEMIS audit have been finalized. And we have a few things that are left to be done over the summer, but we're feeling really good about that work. But that committee is done for the year as well. And that'll do it.
Thank you so much.
Oh, and I'll just say this, we hired our last teacher position opening for next year. So as of right now, we are fully hired for our certified staff for next year. There could always be some summer surprises, but we are feeling very good about that
Wow, that's excellent.
this time of the year.
Yeah. Mrs. Schleier, Business Manager Report.
Okay, so we can see again that we continue to have lots of student activities, expenditures, so all sorts of fun activities for the end of the year, detailed out in the bullets at the beginning there. With food services, our May expenditures were $27,896, and our revenue was $26,531, so close. The actual, the offset was $6,835. That's different than just the difference between expenditures and revenue, just because of the flow of cash and, you know, what checks were, you know, leaving the district. So, you know, the money that had to be on hand in the bank in order to cover those was $6,800. But that projection from back in January, February remains true. We still think $19,220 will cover us for the year. So now it's time to start looking forward to next year. And next year is much different than our current year as far as food services is concerned, because we had a surplus beyond 3 months of operating expenses to start this fiscal year. So you might have remembered during the budgeting process that we were projecting $79,000 deficit in the program for fiscal year 26. I've looked at the numbers again with, you know, when I did it in October, we're using the prior year's meal utilization and cost of food and all of that. So I've looked at it again with this year's costs, and things look very similar. Our meal utilization is down from a year ago, but that puts our expenditures down too. So all things considered, it's, you know, there's movement amongst the different accounts, but it's sort of a wash, and it still appears to be around $79,000 if no change happens. We've continued to wait and wait and wait for the federal government to reduce the paid lunch equity tool. That tool last year was released mid-June. It still is yet to be released, but the state is advising districts to just use last year's tool with this year's number. Our food service advisor did that, plugged in the calculation, and has come up with a figure for us to consider. So the tool kind of comes back and says, between all of the different types of reimbursement that you're getting, you need to be charging $4 to make sure that you're sort of not like using state funding to offset the cost of the meal program. The federal government does not require us to go straight from $3.25 to $4, but they do require a minimum increase of 10 cents. So I prepared just a couple of things for you to look at. Probably most interested in this, which is just the summary sheet of all of this fun data here, but you know, with all your free time, please look at the details there too.
I like how you have must in like all capital letters.
What did I
Business
do?
Manager Report.
Must increase.
You must increase.
Oh.
Caitlin and I were looking at all the data earlier. I said, maybe for me and for the board, let's have a little summary.
Yeah, so the packet
you.
is just all the work to get there, but the summary is currently, so we've got prices for free, reduced, and full paid. Currently for breakfast, those first 3 columns, currently free breakfast is free, obviously. Reduced breakfast is free. The state of Connecticut is offsetting the difference in reimbursement rate between free and reduced, so that our reduced eligible families are not paying anything for breakfast. Our full paid breakfast is $1.60. And a la carte is milk. That's 60 cents. So the I had just talked to you about the minimum federal requirement is to increase that breakfast by 10 cents. So you as a board have got to decide to at least increase it to $1.70. There's no requirement about increasing the milk price, so the minimum is set at 60 cents still. And reduced priced meals is just, it's set by the federal government at 30 cents. So that's the minimum. The maximum for breakfast is $0. We can't charge for free. 30 cents for reduced. Minimum and maximum is the same. That's just what it is. $2.35 for a full paid breakfast, and that is, I guess I wouldn't say like a true, there's not a rule around $2.35, but that number we got to on the advice of our food service advisor, saying that in general, a district charges the cost of the reimbursement amount for a free breakfast. So when we say we had 100 free breakfasts served today, the state is reimbursing that at a rate of $2 and actually 37 cents per breakfast. So I rounded it down to $2.35. So that was sort of where the maximum number came from, but it's not a true maximum. Moving over to lunch, our current prices are 0 and 0 for free and reduced for the same reason as breakfast, and $3.25 for full paid lunch, and again 60 cents for the milk. At minimum, our minimum is $0 for a free lunch, 40 cents for a reduced price lunch, and $3.35 for a full paid lunch. And that $3.35 comes from the 10-cent increase on what we have this year. We are required to do that because our revenue is not as much as our expenditures. And again, no need to increase milk. The maximum here, $0 of course for free, 40 cents for reduced, $4 for lunch, and that comes out of the calculation completed in the paid lunch equity tool, and 70 cents for milk, and that is not a requirement or a cap, but again, the guidance from our food service advisor is that generally the price is equal to twice the price of the wholesale cost of milk, which is 35.77 cents. So those are all of the numbers for you to consider as we set prices for next year. And if you look at the last two columns, you can see what the impact on our bottom line will be in the food services program. So if we just adopt those minimums for breakfast and lunch, you are going to reduce your deficit in the program by about $4,500 based on current year meal utilization if nothing changed. And if you went to the maximum recommended here for breakfast and lunch, you would reduce your deficit in the program by about $29,000. And if you recall, that deficit is right now projected to be about $79,000 for next year. So I provide you all of that information for your consideration and discussion as you go to set your meal prices for the upcoming fiscal year.
Caitlin and I talked about this earlier today, and our feeling was, because we haven't increased significantly since 2019, that it's time to make a correction, a market adjustment, and so we felt comfortable at the maximum rates, knowing that, again, families who are in need are qualifying for free and reduced. So that was our feeling about it, and just feeling like $79,000 is a big offset for the program, and so being able to reduce it by about $29,000, assuming meal utilization doesn't change. Now, if price goes up, it could change, but we're not sure if it's enough of a change that it's going to be that significant. So that was our feeling about it when we talked about it earlier today.
So I would say let's have discussion. I don't want to make a motion because we don't have a number to, I don't want to just put an arbitrary number in a motion. So I don't know if we want to just have discussion now if people have feelings about it. So I do think that RAM and others that might know better than me can correct me if I'm wrong, but is $3.90 for stable lunch, whatever that is. but it's like the
Right.
full,
I
right?
don't know.
It is.
Sorry.
I'm almost positive
Okay.
because, yes. So I don't know about breakfast, but I don't know. We could go around, Joe.
I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, we have to increase it. Right?
Yes, yeah.
That's a significant
Yeah, we have to.
offset. I mean, what percent of the lunch today is tossed away with the silverware that I sent in?
I do not have that data point for you today.
Do you know about
See,
how,
all of us
like, the
did
percentage of how many
Yours
students?
does?
I know it's hard because it changes, right, on a pizza day versus
Melted ice cream.
Everything goes.
like chicken pot pie. I'm making this up. So, do you know the approximate percentage of students that actually take hot lunch?
Not off the top of my head, but I think I can quickly get that figure
Okay,
for you.
okay.
Is this the utilization, the quantity?
That's how many total meals were sold in the year.
Have you seen a
Yes,
strong
I guess.
correlation in the past between the price and the utilization, or is it?
It's
When it
really
was
in-
free.
Well, right, but like actual when they were paying.
I really wish they would still
I
have
don't
it.
know
we've
that
been
you've
paying.
changed the price all that much.
So,
But what we
Yeah,
don't
really.
know is the people who qualify, I can't help it, but what we don't know in this number is those who might qualify for reduced meals who are actually using it. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to kind of, that's the category that I'm kind of honing in on right now.
so those that qualify for those that have a need, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
$4 for a meal would be cost prohibitive. Those individuals
Would
would
be covered.
probably qualify for free or reduced price meals and would pay the federal mandated cost of 30 cents for breakfast and 40 cents for lunch. That's a federal mandate.
Yep.
That's not anything that you as a board have oversight over. It's been free for several years now because of
It does sound like
State,
a lot, doesn't
state
it?
funding,
What?
yeah.
state and
$4
federal
doesn't
funding.
it just sound? It just sounds like a
$4
a big
seems like a
number.
lot. Like, can they go back for seconds? I'm being serious.
I don't think
Like,
they do, but
but can they?
They can get charged for a second meal.
Oh.
They can get a lot of food on their plate for $4. Oftentimes, children don't choose to get a lot on their plate.
Mhm.
They choose the items that they like, but a lot is offered. They could choose like 5 different items. It's a full tray if they do.
I don't, you've been eating the school lunch.
I sure have. I've been doing my own research.
And how is it going? I
Say
mean,
you.
we're asking in a public forum, so that's
It's
probably
been-
not a good
Is it
idea.
worth
It's
$4?
looked very colorful when I've seen it.
It's colorful, nice, fresh, local fruits and vegetables. It's delicious. It's portion controlled for me, and I'm not hungry until I get home for dinner.
we paid for that statement.
I paid $5.25 for it.
Right.
So anyone, all right. So obviously you have to go up to at least 335. I don't know if I would feel comfortable at 4, even though I know we have the deficit. So budgetarily 4 makes sense, but it's a lot. $4 a day, 5 days a week, so $20 a week. Right, potentially.
If families chose to
Cheaper than
buy.
groceries.
Right, that's
I
true.
mean,
They
then
might
they
pack
could
their own.
choose
I was
to
gonna
pack.
say, I think it's cheaper than
It's still a
sending
significant-
it from home.
Yeah.
In my household, it's like you get 2 a week. My son picks which 2 of the week
Yeah.
he's doing, and like that's what we do. 'Cause he
So
would do it every
currently
day,
we're
but-
325, so that'd be going up 75 cents for lunch.
We could split the difference.
You could do 375,
Are we okay with that?
I'd do 375.
I was just gonna say 375,
right?
yeah.
I feel like
Getting under
375.
4.
Even
Yeah.
though I know that we have a deficit, I just feel,
But if it is 390, I mean, we could also do 390 if that's the current price at RAM too. I
yeah.
know there
And I
were
don't know
kids, but-
if that has to do with, I don't know what stable lunch is. That's all I don't know. That's how
Stable
it's
is the-
like in
Is
the,
is the name of, some of the state funding to,
oh no,
it feels like it can't be the same thing, but it is
no.
the term of the state funding that makes the reduced meals free.
And I know they have more
more
options
choices,
in the
yeah.
middle of
It's
high
actually-
school, for sure.
That was the name of it last year. This year it's Star. They
Oh,
change it every year
I
just
don't
to
know.
make it confusing. So I don't know where stable came from.
So how do people feel about 375?
I feel okay about
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Do we have to
And
do
you can make an
breakfast as well?
adjustment next year too,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Just do
and,
it
right.
Have to just
It doesn't
ease
Yeah.
up to it.
Yep.
So breakfast,
Oh, that's a breakfast price.
I'm okay at
So
235.
235
Yeah.
for breakfast? Okay. How's everyone feel about 235 for breakfast? If they choose to eat breakfast here.
Right.
What are they offered? Remind me?
A muffin?
With the menu.
They have different things.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do they have those little cereal boxes still?
They do.
Yeah.
They serve cereal.
With milk, yeah.
So
The milk is
yesterday or Monday it was a mini bagel. Yesterday it was a breakfast burrito. Sorry, Tuesday. I don't know what day it is.
Breakfast.
It was a donut on Wednesday.
that's what's
I know you were
It's
waiting.
not really a donut.
Yeah, it's a very big brain.
It's a whole grain
No, it's not.
This is a whole grain donut.
We have reduced sugar donut.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I hear what you're saying.
That's not
It's
a
a
donut.
sausage
It's a carrot
and
donut.
cheese on an English muffin
Yeah.
today,
But
and
it's
it's a
like-
waffle
And they get
tomorrow.
milk,
So,
they get milk or juice with that.
yeah, so every day they could also have a cereal, and the additional offerings are string cheese, yogurt, fruit juice, and milk.
Oh,
That's
so
it.
they choose. They choose their breakfast.
They have
Choices.
3 options,
Okay.
really. So they can do the yogurt, they can do the cereal, or they can
known
do
for
like the
making
breakfast
excellent ones.
of the day.
It's tough because it's dependent on the day. Like, $2.35 for a donut seems a little ridiculous, but for a burrito.
And a milk,
Right.
and a
For-
fruit,
and then-
and a string cheese.
Oh, it's
Oh,
all
you
comes
choose?
together.
Oh, you,
It's
Yes.
you can.
Oh, it's a
whole- It's
package.
a whole bag.
Oh, right.
Oh.
That makes me feel better
Okay.
about
I
the
thought it was like a mini
235.
bagel.
Yeah, I agree. Like when she.
$1.79, I had an
They
issue
can
with
do
that.
your grocery shopping. Just tell them to throw it in the
Oh, okay, that's a little better
back
than
package.
a little a package.
It'd be really
Are you
fun.
okay with that then?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes, that would be great.
So you guys are okay? I'm asking Nikki, I guess. 235 for breakfast.
It feels like a lot, but I think it's a matter, like, personally, $2.35 is worth it to me to get my kids out the door in the
Yeah.
morning.
Same.
I mean, less kids are getting breakfast and lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with $2 too, to make it even, but that's just me.
Or 225.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Not like
For
anyone's bringing a
parents, I
quarter
know that's
anymore.
weird, but like,
It's
it's
just,
weird.
it's such a small amount, 170 to 235 is a giant percentage because it's such a small amount.
Yeah, yeah. If you look at the percent increase, it's
It's big.
high, but
I think the
So
breakfast
close.
prices too, and I don't have data from before I was here. I don't know where I would find that data at this point, but I don't think you as a board have touched breakfast in a very long
No,
time.
'cause it's
I
been
think-
free for a long
I think
time.
breakfast, or at least lunch has been looked at more regularly, and I think breakfast, my assumption would be, has been at that 160 for quite some time.
We could do $2 for breakfast. Just throwing it out there.
is there any protein?
Yeah.
That's
cheese
what I'm
stick?
talking about.
Egg.
Breakfast
Egg
burrito
is-
Well,
has
what's in the burrito?
eggs.
Okay.
I had that. Dr. Briere also
I
had
love
it.
them, yeah. Very tasty. A couple of them, actually.
Sausage.
What would you pay?
What would you pay for a burrito?
That's
Oh,
all.
like 350 or
protein.
something. Really good.
All right,
So where are you at?
235 is the majority?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And milk, we don't have to touch, right? I mean,
You
you're,
could leave it at 60 cents. or you
yeah,
could do it
I
at
wouldn't
70
touch,
cents.
I mean, it's milk. Right? Chocolate milk's the
What
same?
do we
Or
pay
we
for
not
the-
do chocolate milk anymore, is that a thing?
33.77.
Oh.
Available.
Oh,
There's
good.
still chocolate milk.
That what
Just
you
for
said?
chocolate.
I'm well
What
aware.
cost?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like
That's what you said?
100%.
What
You
are
say
we
the cost
paying?
of milk was 33.77?
The wholesale price is 33.77 cents.
Okay.
Okay, so leave milk.
That's fine.
So leave milk at 60
100%
cents.
profit
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah. All right, then we'll do a motion. All right, I have a motion to set the student meal prices for 2025-2026 as $3.75 for lunch, $2.35 for breakfast, and 60 cents for milk.
So moved.
Yeah, moved.
I can second.
All right, Kim seconds. Any further discussion? All right. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? All right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Michelle, are you still on?
I am. Yes, I am. I was just letting everybody take a moment to absorb.
Oh, yeah, sweet.
So, okay. So I have a couple of grant updates for you. I won't go into it in lots of detail, but because Dr. Briers talked at our meeting a couple weeks ago about our transition from our school readiness council to our local governance partnership. So we just continue to like submit the forms and click the buttons and do the things that we need to do to get ourselves ready to hopefully continue to be eligible for some funding in that wheelhouse of early childhood education. So we're continuing that journey, but no updates at this time. My bullet at the time of writing this on Monday was that we await more information on the Special Education Expansion Development Grant, the SEED grant. We have a figure now of $43,479.
This is that new special ed funding that I emailed you about a little while ago.
So we celebrate that news. Well, we also, in the same 24-hour period of time, found out that we've lost our Title V funding to the tune of about $57,000. So we're just no longer eligible as a rural district.
And that's because our enrollment has been increasing. So this was like, we thought that this could happen at some point, and we've crossed that threshold. We also have the primary mental health program grants, which is available on our grant system now for submission. It's kind of been in like a continuation status for a couple of years, so it was just it's a little bit more like it's open to everybody, anybody can apply. So we'll have Dr. Brier and I and Mrs. Uriano will be taking a closer look at that application and sort of like dust it off and clean it up and resubmit. That's due by June 30th, but we plan to submit in the next week or so, just before everybody's off for the school year. That funds 1 day a week of social worker services here.
So that's our work under grants. Our audit does continue. My feedback has always been, we're done with Board of Ed things, we're just waiting on the town, but I received an email yesterday that they are going to be looking for some additional information. What that is, I don't know yet, but I'll provide it as it comes. But the holdup mostly is in work that they continue to do with the town. So that's not complete.
Is that, how many extensions has there been?
I think it's just 2 this time. Yeah.
Who approves extensions? The town?
I think the auditors submit it to some entity at the state. I don't know exactly where that goes, honestly. So hopefully I'll have an update for you in July on that. I have a short list of transfers for you, and very detailed notes below about where all of your balances lie for the year, but I don't know.
Can I ask you a quick question on the general fund thing?
Yes.
The number in the encumbrance column at the end, do we expect to spend that?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
given the time, it's June 6th, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, so if you look, it's $1.7 million encumbered, which sounds like alarming, right?
Yes.
But most of that is in salaries. And
Okay.
there's so much encumbered in salaries right now, because remember, your teachers get paid through the summer now.
Right.
So that money is not just for 2 more pays, it's for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more pays for teachers. So that's why it's such a high number with salaries, and then you've got over $100,000 in benefits, which will just be unencumbered as payroll is processed for the rest of the year. And everything, we've been looking very close, especially with our AP specialist being out. I've been personally looking very closely at all of our open, purchase orders, so I'm confident where they all stand, and all of, everything outside of, salaries is definitely going to get spent down by the end of the year.
Okay.
So we have that unencumbered balance of $3,000, which is a little deceiving, because we are also expecting one more payment, for special ed excess cost reimbursement. So
Should be about how
that-
much, you know?
I think it's,
30-something.
yeah, it's about 35, it's 34,505, that's what I think it is.
Okay.
So, that's where we are. So on the transfer report, there's 7 lines where we're looking to move some money in because we see a potential to go over budget by the end of the month. And you can see they're very small dollar amounts. Just mostly some staff needs and a couple of items here and there, and then just the list of where the credits are. Below that is just every little piece of dollars and cents that are left lingering where we can pull money from to offset those projected deficits.
The usual June budget,
Yeah.
to even everything out, yep.
So we would suggest you do a motion about the line item transfers, and then also a motion to, so the law was updated last year around the non-lapsing account. You no longer have to go to the Board of Finance to ask permission. You can make your own action to say, if we have any money left, we're just putting it in our savings account. So I'd also suggest you do that as well.
Have we set up a separate account now? I know we had the non-lapsing account before with the town under different statute. Now that the statute's been updated in the board's favor. Do you know if they will be putting, or we will, I don't know, be putting it in a different account, so it's more easily accessible, and that, since we don't have to go to the town to ask permission to use it?
Yeah, I mean, from our perspective, it's all really just accounting, right? The money sits where the money sits, and it's not in a special bank account because it's that non-lapsing funding. But I can create a separate fund so that any additional money is clearly marked that it was received, post 6/30/25.
I just think it'll be a good idea, but, just my opinion, I'm only 1 out of 7, but, I feel it would be a good idea because if it's not separate, then the Board of Finance will think that they potentially think unknowingly that they need to give us permission to use it. That's just my thought.
The other issue too is the interest, because we know that with our current non-lapsing account, the town is taking the interest money.
Yes, that's
So
true.
This would be separate.
That's true. Yes, so that would be, that's a good point, I didn't think of that.
Try to have a
And
couple here.
yes, it'd be wonderful if we could do that.
Will do.
Thank you.
So I think, yes, we should do that, but I will
Yes.
say that the Board of Finance did take action previously to say that we don't need their permission to access our other fund, that we can freely access it. So we do have that. So like right now, like if we needed to we're hoping to end around 0, so you're probably not depositing much of anything.
Right,
and
right,
more-
right.
And maybe not anything, or we might have to go to our account to balance at the end of the year, because we're only at this $3,000 cushion right now. So it's certainly possible that we need to access it. We don't think so, but it could.
I still think it's a
But we won't ask permission, they've already given us permission, we'll just use it.
I still think we should.
I agree.
Oh, I still think
Just
you
'cause there's
should, instead of put it
Yes.
in another account, I agree.
And because the boards change,
That's true.
folks change, they might
People
make,
change.
yeah, yep. Thank you. Sorry if that's extra work there.
It is, will take me seconds to do it.
Oh, then,
Hours and hours.
then that makes me feel even better about
Overtime.
asking. All right, so can I have a motion to approve the line item transfers as presented?
So moved.
Thank
Second.
you. Ally seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? All right, motion passes, thank you. All right. So, right, so let's do it in our new account, maybe. I ask for a motion to deposit any remaining balance at the end of the fiscal year up to the 2% statutory cap in the district non-lapsing account for future educational use.
Can you adjust that to say the new?
The district's new, yes, friendly amendment there, in the district's new non-lapsing account for future educational use. Yes, thank you, Joe.
So moved.
All right, Joe. Second. Ally, King, either one. All right, any discussion? Further discussion? All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions? All right, we pass unanimously. Awesome. Committee updates, policy committee, we haven't met, but we are, there are a couple where we're gonna meet on, potentially,
Thinking September.
in the fall.
Yeah.
But we don't have anything scheduled. Resource Management Committee. Student growth, I think you reported on last week, or I felt like it was last week. Communications.
Did not meet.
Did not meet. Negotiations Committee, we haven't met since the last time we met. We might be meeting. Building Committee,
Has not met.
oh. PTA liaison.
I have a report. So the fun run at Hebron and Gilead Hill was a huge success, and they've been super busy with end of the school year activities. I'm looking forward to planning next year with administration over the summer. There's gonna be, the PTA is putting together a really nice year in review, so keep your eyes out for that. They'll put it on social media, and it has a nice compilation of all of their just, contributions and activities over the year. And they did elect new officers, and so I'll send that over, for the minutes, so we have that. Thank you.
Who's the president now? I'm just curious.
We've got, so they have, president is Taylor Crawford, and then there's a president-elect Hannah Wheeler. Do you wanna know all the officers? I can
Sure,
share. The vice president at AGS is Kate Randazzo, and the vice president at Gilead Hill is Jen Sanford. Secretary is Tara Adomalis. I always say her last name wrong. And the treasurer is Jen Nato.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Local governance partnership liaison?
So-
I'm like, do we have this liaison? Because I don't know about it.
New school readiness. And
Okay.
There's no.
Oh, no.
No update.
No update yet.
I mean,
Time will tell.
this is wonderful. Wellness committee.
We have not met, but invites for next year went
Already went
out.
Oh, all right.
Very organized.
Excellent. Okay. Old business. I don't think, since the building committee hasn't met, I'm assuming we don't have any discussion or action around school building infrastructure.
No update on either of these things.
And then we had discussion regarding the school lunch program,
Yeah, no update.
because we haven't received.
Well,
any
I will say
guidance.
this, I know Mrs. Shalar talked to our food service advisor, who was happy to come and meet with us, so we await new federal guidance and then we'll schedule that. But we gave her the dates for the fall, so we'll figure out something.
Okay, thank you. New business, is there anything anyone would like to see on our retreat agenda?
Retreat
That's
will
when we're
be-
meeting next?
Retreat will be district advancement plan, my eval, and maybe contract stuff,
Mhm.
so. And the next business meeting will be in August.
All right, well, let me know. So nothing right now. Any board member comments?
I have one. if
Yes,
no one
sure.
else would. Just, special thanks to all the staff that planned the fabulous field days all week. So I was blessed to be able to pop into the Hebron ones and today's, and it's so comprehensive and it's so well organized. Someone said today there were like 110 parent volunteers. It's 130.
Oh my gosh, that's so
So
cool.
they just,
That's a
it's
lot.
just, people love it and wanna be a part of it, and so much goes into it, and it was well run and well executed, so round of applause for everybody involved in both schools, because it was really, really awesome. I like Corona's schedule too, of where we're at, when color coded. Yeah.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
color-coded, yeah, very
So,
nice.
thank you. Awesome. And my kids wake up like it's Christmas morning when it's field day and
Oh, right.
Oh, yes.
ready to
And
go.
are out the door.
Love it.
All of a
Out
sudden.
the door.
Yep.
T-shirt on.
Ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish every day could.
Do they still do different colored t-shirts depending on the
Yeah.
grade? Yeah. Mm.
This is very easy to spot them.
Yeah.
I know.
And Mrs. Uriano might have logged 8 miles up the hill. Yeah, up and down the hill today, potentially.
And I see you have your shirt on, so.
I have a quick one,
Sure,
actually.
yeah.
I'll try to keep it quick. So, I just wanna compliment, the music programming, I should say, at large. I know I see you nodding at Hebron, between the chorus concerts and the wind ensemble and jazz band and just all of the offerings. I was able to attend, many of these events over the last month. And, also the, some 6th, 5th, and 4th graders attended a festival, last week and did very well. And so I was super proud of them. They earned gold at the festival, so something to be
Oh,
really
very
proud
nice.
of. And just the amount of time I can only imagine of just planning all of that. They make it look so easy. Ms. G and Mr. Rehusen just make it look like it sort of all just comes together. But the kids are so proud of themselves. They're inspired. It's a wonderful opportunity for them to be able to participate that I know other districts don't have.
Yeah.
And so for the kids to be exposed at a young age to music and the arts is huge. So it's really cool. So I just want to thank them for that.
Oh, that's excellent. And they were awesome in the Memorial Day parade.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
They were
marching
really
band,
good.
Thank you. It was so
They were
fun.
really good.
Yes, thank you. I
Yes.
knew I was forgetting one.
Yeah.
It's unusual for the elementary to be in that.
Yeah.
parade, too, so.
Yeah. They did really, I mean, it sounded
really good.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any other? All right. So I'm proposing for executive session. Next on our agenda is discussion and possible action regarding the employment contract for the business manager. So I will ask for a motion to move into executive session at 7:09 PM for the purposes of discussing the employment contract for the business manager, inviting the superintendent, Dr. Tom Barrett, to attend portions of the executive session.
So,
Is there a second? All right, Nikki seconds. All in, any discussion about going into executive session? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions. All right, we will go into executive session. I think we're going to, just due to the weather, go down to
Central office conference room, there's air conditioning.
okay.
Room 3 could be hot.
right.
For life? Okay. We are now returning to regular session at 7:59 PM. And I will ask for a motion to extend the employment contract of Mrs. Caitlin Schalar as business manager through and including June 30th, 2028. And further, that the superintendent of schools be authorized to finalize and execute the employment contract with Mr. Schalar for the period of July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2028, as discussed.
So moved.
All right, Joe moves. We have a second?
Second.
All right, Nikki seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? All right, motion passed unanimously.
Right, we don't need that.
So can I have a motion to adjourn at 8 PM?
So moved.
All right, Joe. Second? Anyone? Nikki seconds. Any discussion on adjourning at 8 PM? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? All right.